What's up, my good people? It is February 15th, 2026, man. Good old Sunday. We're going to do a trade recap this week. I'm going to go through everything that was on the watch list. I pretty much lay out, all of my ideas for the week, if you are in the Unstoppable Traders community, right in the community tab, right up top, you'll see me pin, trade ideas at the top. But at the top of every week, I also put up this technical analysis watch list. So on February 9th, I posted the last one. So again, this is my watch list I'm giving you with everything on the side over there. And that's not a good example. Well, that's the technical analysis, that's the actual charts. So that's me taking you through my charts with all the markups on them. All you have to do is copy it over, really, if you want to. And then you also get my watch list. So if you don't have everything I have on my list, if you go and get this watch list and pull it into your trading view, you will have every symbol, all the group tabs that I have for every asset class that I'm looking at for the week. You can see the distribution of symbols, a little bit of everything in there for each person. So if you don't have that and you didn't know what that was, that's what that is. Pop it, get the watch list, import it into your trading view. Then when you get my technical analysis charts, you'll be able to interact with the charts just like I do. Anyway, we'll go down the list. As you know, I might look at the dollar, but I don't trade it. So Euro USD, the white line right here, February 9th, that afternoon, evening, about 5 o'clock. That's when I publish these. So, um, and you can also reference that in the community. You can see I dropped that on February 9th. Sometimes I will put screenshots in here of them too, so you can see it there as well. But if you want to interact with the charts, you can import the layout that I shared. So let's go through the list, see what happened this week. Yes, called it out here on the 9th. Looks like on the 11th, that Wednesday, not quite that Tuesday, on the Wednesday it hit sale. If you took one contract on there, that was 1,500 risk. We at least go for 2 to 1, and you definitely achieved that. So if you took two contracts on this, or even one contract, you should have came up, 3,100 on that if you took that trade. It looks like it hit Wednesday and it was done Wednesday that morning. So if you got in that night or something, I don't know. I know it got in. Looks like it ran all the way down to this next area of support and resistance that I had marked off. So that was a 9K runner if you had a type of account that you could hold it multiple days. Zone to zone, we didn't get there yet. It's kind of a little demand zone here. I did mark it off because it was a reaction of another zone I saw back further. But if you were able to go, if it does play out always zone to zone and you are still in it, that's a 11K trade. Or if you're in micros, 150 for 300 for $1,100. So micro is a tenth the size of the mini. All right, that's the ES. Yeah, that's ES. NQ, let's see, 25, 466.50. Let's see this high, 25, 465. Yep. So this one hit also on Wednesday as well. And I'm gonna look at the 4 hour on these because just gives you more real estate so you can see more of the chart. That was a $3,600 trade. Might as well say 3,670. If you traded the full mini, if you traded the micro, it was $367. Let's just say two times that, 357, 750 ish. You definitely got 2 to 1 on that easily. Yeah, it's 32. Yeah, so you got 2 to 1 on that easily. Kind of did the same thing as YM. It ran to this last area where we had some buying. If you just went for this wick touch, but nobody know to do that. I didn't have a level of interest down here, so the 2 to 1 would have been good. Or you could have ran to this old grayed out area that used to be a demand zone. But if you went for 2 to 1, you definitely got your 2 to 1. 75 plus on that easy. You can see it went all the way up to 8,000 on that. So you at least got 2 to 1 off of it. And if you held it, you definitely see it went far beyond that. So that was NQ. Russell, none of the zones I called out hit yet. YM, where we at? Of course, called that's the last time I updated this one. So this old resistance became resistance again. Looks like later on. So if you took the breakout of this zone, because it was still good for a breakout, it was a prior month high, prior week high. It was a lot of things going on there. So you could have taken a break and retested it. When I give you a zone, remember you could play it both ways. So if you still had the zone marked up from on the what was this, the 22nd, and I believe I updated it after that, but it was still good for a breakout. The retest didn't quite get there again, but it did break out, give you a trade. Last week it came back into that area, retested it, and dropped down. So YM still clean. Gold, I was waiting for it to break here and retest or break above here. Neither one of those happened. It's still kind of ranging around in this little pattern. Nothing for me on gold. All right. This was updated on the 3rd. Copper, it finally came back on Wednesday. This past week, hit that zone. Let's see what that was. And I'm just going to do these on the mini contract. So let's call it 1500. Mean you need at least get 2 to 1 off that, 3K. You got your 3K right back on Wednesday. Ran all the way to this old grayed out area for 8K. This is on one contract. If you got more than one contract, of course, it's more. Still could go all the way zone to zone. That'd be 10K if it went all the way down. If you have the type of account that allows you to hold. But if you don't, if you just went for 2 to 1, 3,100 was easily hit on Wednesday. So platinum didn't hit yet. Silver not hit yet. And I might tweak these zones today, so look for the updates. Crude oil, last updated it here around this 5618 level. I didn't call that out or update or share this update last week, but that 50 to 618 Fibonacci retracement zone we called out played out textbook perfectly. We did come back Wednesday. Wednesday was the day, man. Crude oil hit the supply zone. Let's see what that was. Sell, stop loss. 750, 1500. You got easily. Let's call it 1520 or something. Boom, boom, boom. Took a couple days to play out. 11th, 12th. It hit 2 to 1 on the 12th if you had the type of account that allows you to hold over like that. If not, you probably would have closed out at the 1 to 1. You still would have been profitable if you let it close close on you at the end of the day. So either way, should be good on that one. Another winner. Heating oil, no call outs for me on that. Natural gas, this demand zone. I was waiting on the break of that. It's still holding it and respecting it. It's making lower highs though. So we'll see what happens with natural gas. Big drop off, but nothing played out for me that I wanted to take last week. I mean, you could have taken this zone for 1 to 1, but it's not something I was looking at. Australian dollar, nothing. Euro, British pound, I didn't do anything with that. The euro, this zone, I think I'm looking at the February 9th list. Okay, yeah, that's what we're on. Yep, that was the one we called out. So this zone, I probably should have adjusted that, but since that was already violated, then yeah, the ninth. Okay, I called this out on the ninth. I feel like I updated that. Let me go to school community. 6E. Did I share that here? That's the Euro USD. Oh, I know what it was. I cleaned it up for the Euro USD, which is the equivalent of 6E, just the Forex version. So we'll go to Euro USD a little after. Let's see if I call the 6E out here. And sometimes, and that's on me, I might update the chart and do it in a different workspace by mistake, but it doesn't look like I did that last week. So Euro, that wasn't a clean zone to take. If you see it pierce through like that, you don't really want to take it because that means my distal line isn't quite where it needs to be. And it looks like I put an alert where I wanted to put the distal line, but I didn't. So let's go past that one. Yen, nothing. Euro USD. Now I know what I did on the triple chart screen. I called that one out. But let's stay on this chart because you have this watch list. Yen, Bitcoin. Bitcoin called out this zone a while ago. Yeah, that hit on the 5th, so that wasn't a last week move. Nothing on these other cryptocurrencies. ETFs, didn't call out anything on those last week. QQQ, old levels, SPY, old levels. This is a clean supply and demand zone, little range up here. I'll probably mark that up this week. Apple, nothing. I didn't get into stocks last week. So that was those are the results from last week, man. I know I called out at least 10K of winners. So if you were in those last week, kudos to you. If you missed them, I understand. Sometimes I don't catch them all either. But look for the new watch list later this week. It'll be the February 15th one. I'm going to start naming them Sunday's date. So February 15th watch list. So look forward to that. I will drop it here. I'm going to unpin this one so that the newest one will be pinned at the top when I get done. Let's look at that Euro USD. I know I did that on the other chart layout. Euro USD. Let's go to a 4-hour for a cleaner view. Euro USD. Boom, boom, boom. So I said I was waiting on it to break out on either side because the news I thought would be a lot more volatile, but it did not. But it did come back, turn around, and reverse, and give you a confirmation entry inside of the zone. So, of course, you all know you don't just set an order. If I call something out, I wait for a green counter to come back outside of the zone, then I take it long. So that played out. If you took that and drill down to 30-minute, 15-minute, whatever your choice is, you got a nice clean candle on Friday, it looks like. They gave you an indication to take it higher. So, yeah, that was 2 in the morning during the European session. If you're not up, and you took New York, you could wait on New York. It came back here again, gave you 1-to-1. It gave us a fake out down here. This old grayed out area was an old zone that it couldn't break through. This top green one was a fresher one, but looks like that old one that got violated before was still good. So we never broke past that old one. We kept going higher on Friday. That's Euro USD. I think I called out this diamond too. Yeah. The diamonds on the ETFs. After earnings, the diamonds went up. That's the Dow Jones on the ETFs. So that was a nice little 2-3 to 1 on that one if you took that one. That's the call outs for this week, my good people. Again, next week or this week coming up, I will drop some new ones. So be on standby. And if you're not in the school community, hit me up. There's a link up here, Unstoppable Traders dash Unstoppable dash Traders 2860, and you should be able to look us up too in Unstoppable Traders. In the school platform, or send me a message and I'll shoot you the direct link to it. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Happy trading this week.